My name is Leah, and I met my husband Curtis in college at a party that a friend invited us to. We started spending more time together, going on outings and grabbing meals. Over time, we grew closer. Curtis made the first move, and I found myself drawn to his kindness. We began dating, but recently, strange things started happening. Trash appeared in my apartment mailbox, and I began receiving anonymous phone calls that would hang up as soon as I answered. I talked to Curtis about it and even changed my phone number. But the calls continued on the new one. It started to wear me down emotionally. One day, Curtis invited me to a fireworks show. I wasn't in the mood because of the stress, but he encouraged me, saying, "Don't look so down. You'll ruin the fireworks. Cheer up, you'll feel better." He was right. I decided to enjoy the moment. As the beautiful fireworks lit up the sky, Curtis suddenly shouted, "Leah, look." The next set of fireworks spelled out, "Leah, will you marry me?" The people around us began murmuring, and Curtis gave me the biggest smile. "I want you to be happy forever, Leah. Let's always be together." I couldn't hold back my tears. "Thank you, Curtis. I'm so happy. Please make me happy." Curtis smiled, acknowledging the congratulations from those around us. Curtis's dad is a prominent real estate agent, and Curtis is the vice president of the company, so I, a country girl, joined the world of the rich and famous. We moved into a luxury apartment owned by his dad and decided to build our own house, which was completed in just 2 months. Our new home was spacious, with white walls and a lovely scent of wood. Then one day, Curtis said, "Nicole and Garrett are coming over this Sunday to celebrate our move." Sorry for the short notice. I was surprised. "What? We just moved in 2 days ago, and we're not even unpacked yet." But okay. To be honest, I wasn't fond of Nicole, my sister-in-law. When we announced our engagement, she looked unhappy. She got married 6 months later and wore a white dress to our wedding, sticking close to Curtis and stealing the spotlight. But I decided to make the best of it. On Sunday, as I was making homemade pizza, the video doorbell rang. "Oh, Nicole's here. Isn't she supposed to come at 12? It's only 11. I rushed to the door, but Nicole was already heading to the living room without a greeting, passing by me as if I wasn't there. "Curtis, I brought a housewarming gift." "Open it." I tried to be polite. "Nicole, it's been a while since the wedding. At least say hello." Nicole reluctantly greeted me and handed over a box. "Thanks. Let's see what's inside." It was a glass photo clock with a picture of Curtis and Nicole. I felt uneasy. Normally, the photo should be of the married couple, not siblings. But Nicole insisted. "Who cares? You're always with Curtis. I hardly see him. Let me have this." She moved our wedding photo and placed the clock in a prominent spot. I pretended not to notice. Nicole then said she wanted to see the rooms and went upstairs, pulling Curtis along, while her husband Garrett was left standing, looking at his phone. "Are you working? Please have a seat." He apologized, sorry, and sat down. I prepared the meal and set the table. "The food's ready, please eat while it's hot." Nicole came over and said, "Oh, I forgot, I brought some meat. Let's have a barbecue." I was stunned. A barbecue in our new home. The smell would permeate the whole house. But Curtis seemed unfazed. "Nicole, that's some quality meat. Let's have a barbecue, Leah." I forced a smile. Sure, it looks delicious." I forced a smile. "Great, it's a nice brisket, right? I've already invited Mom and Dad. Let's all have a fun barbecue party. Who does she think she is, taking over our house like this?" I was getting angry at Nicole's audacity, but I held back since my in-laws were coming over. When everyone gathered, I took the opportunity to serve my homemade pizza. As I placed the hot pizza on the table, Nicole pushed her plate aside and laid out her meat, vegetables, and drinks instead. Thankfully, my mother-in-law took a slice. "Leah, this pizza is wonderful. Try some, dear," she said to my father-in-law. He agreed. "This is really good. You could open a restaurant, Leah. I love your special pizza." Nicole looked displeased as she took a bite of the pizza. "It tastes like old-school pizza." "Rustic, right? Don't you think so, Garrett?" she said, catching him off guard. Garrett hesitated, then replied, "It has a nostalgic taste, I guess." I distanced myself from Nicole and started grilling meat near my in-laws. "Leah, let us handle this. You should eat," they insisted. "Thank you, but I'll eat later. Please, go ahead," I replied. Nicole, however, continued to boss me around without mercy. "Leah, Could you grill that meat over there? And we're running low on beer. Sure, but it looks like we're out of beer. I'll go buy some, I offered. No, I'll go, Curtis interjected. No, Curtis, we're all together for the first time in a while. Leah, please go, Nicole insisted. Reluctantly, I went to the nearby supermarket as Nicole instructed and hurried back home. When I returned, Garrett was on the phone near the entrance. I can't make it today. I'll go tomorrow, he said before noticing me and going inside. Sorry for the wait, here's the beer, I said as I handed it to Nicole. Thank you, Leah. Why don't you sit down and eat? She suggested, seating me and placing some grilled corn on my plate, which I reluctantly ate. That was delicious. I'm full. How about you, Leah? Nicole asked with a provocative tone. She had been treating me like a maid, and I hadn't even had any brisket, just corn. I managed to hold back my boiling anger. Didn't we save some meat for Leah? Curtis asked. Oh, was that for Leah? I grilled it and ate it. Nicole responded casually. It's fine, as long as everyone had fun. That's what matters. Don't worry about it, I said, swallowing my frustration. Nicole then brought something from her car. Since I ate your meat, here you go, she said, handing me a bag. Thank you, I replied. Inside was a supermarket sandwich and the bread was already stale. Still, I held back my frustration. Curtis, sensing the tension, said, Leah, sorry for dropping by unannounced. Come visit us sometime, we're leaving now. Sure, we'll come over with Curtis next time. Let's all go out for some good food, I replied. Yes, looking forward to it, Nicole added. But despite my in-laws leaving, Nicole and Garrett showed no signs of leaving. Curtis, let's all play a game of cards, Nicole suggested. I called Curtis into the bedroom. Sorry, I'm not feeling well. Can we ask Nicole and the others to leave? Are you okay? I'll tell them. You rest for a bit, Curtis said before going out to speak to Nicole and the others. Leah's not feeling well, so we'll have to call it a day. Sorry. Sure, Leah must be tired. So we're leaving already. Why don't the three of us go to a club? Nicole suggested, but Garrett intervened. Nicole, let's go home for today. We'll do it another time. How about we visit your apartment next week? Our place is a mess. Let's go out for dinner next week, Curtis suggested. Okay. We'll leave for today. Thanks for having us, Nicole said as they hurriedly left. After they were gone, I asked Curtis, why aren't Nicole and Garrett married yet? I actually don't know. I didn't even know Nicole was dating Garrett, but it's surprising they decided to get married right after we did, Curtis replied. I became curious about Nicole and Garrett. They didn't act like a couple today, and Nicole mostly talked to Curtis. And what was that phone call Garrett made? I decided to rest for the day since I was tired. The next day, Curtis suggested we go out for dinner. Feeling better, I drove to a department store to buy some clothes. As I was about to open my car door in the parking lot, another car pulled in next to me. Garrett was in the driver's seat, and a woman, not Nicole, was in the passenger seat. They were chatting happily. Is Garrett cheating? Such a nice guy. I discreetly left my car and went into the department store. I couldn't get it out of my head and ended up not buying anything. When I got home, I waited for Curtis. I couldn't stop thinking about what I had seen. I don't like Nicole, but she's still Curtis's sister, so it bothered me. When Curtis came home, we headed to the restaurant. I was so preoccupied that I hardly ate. Leah, you're not eating much. Not hungry? Curtis asked. I'm going to the restroom, I said, getting up. As Curtis went to the restroom, his phone buzzed in his bag. Curious, I peeked at it. It was a text from Nicole. Leah is definitely cheating. I saw her with another man. Leah, and you are not a good match. Let's all live together again. You are being deceived by Leah. Nicole was making things up. It seemed she texted him daily. I was angry at myself for worrying about Nicole. Curtis returned from the restroom, picked up his phone and handkerchief, and looked serious. Leah, there's something I've been wanting to ask. Are you cheating on me? Nicole said she saw you with another man. I'm not cheating, Curtis. Where were you? Today, I went to the department store to look at clothes. Did you buy anything? Curtis asked. No, I didn't find anything I wanted. I replied, but Curtis seemed doubtful. He stayed silent during dinner and went straight to our room without saying a word. The next morning, he was still quiet at breakfast. Curtis, are you misunderstanding something? I asked, trying to break the tension. It was clear Curtis was influenced by Nicole's text, my sudden outing, and the fact that I returned without buying anything. I couldn't stand the thought of our marriage crumbling because of Nicole's meddling. A wave of anger and frustration that I'd been holding back surfaced, and I couldn't stop the tears from flowing. I decided to confront Nicole directly to clear up the misunderstanding. I went to Nicole's apartment and rang the doorbell. Garrett appeared on the video monitor. "It's Leah. Is Nicole there?" "Huh? She's out right now." "Sorry you came all this way," Garrett said. "Is that so?" "Garrett, can I come in? I have something to ask," I pressed. "The place is a mess. I'll come to you." "What's this about?" Garrett hesitated before letting me in. The room was bare, without even a table, and felt uninhabited. "Nicole and I aren't actually married," Garrett revealed, surprising me. "We haven't even applied for a marriage license. We live separately even though we share a room." "Then who was the woman in the parking lot?" I asked. "That's my sister. I've always loved her, and our parents started to suspect our relationship. I began posting on a website to vent my stress." "Did you meet Nicole there?" "Yes. We realized we were in similar situations and decided to have a sham marriage," Garrett explained. "That's why you didn't have a wedding," I concluded. "Yes. Nicole loves Curtis, not as a brother, but as a man. She's been trying to break you two up. Even I don't know how to handle her behavior. Nicole has always seen Curtis as more than just an older brother." I returned home and invited Nicole over for dinner by phone. She arrived when Curtis was supposed to be home. "Curtis is working late today," I said. "Then I'm leaving," Nicole responded, but I stopped her. "I heard from Garrett. You two are in a sham marriage and you've been trying to break Curtis and me up. You texted Curtis that I was cheating, didn't you?" "So what? Curtis is mine. I won't give him to anyone. I've been getting rid of nuisances like you," Nicole retorted. Just then, Curtis, who had been hiding, stepped between us. "Nicole, stop. Is this all true?" "Curtis, you're here? You said you were working late." "You lied," Nicole exclaimed. "I invited Nicole here today because I wanted to hear the truth from her. But I'm disappointed." "Nicole, apologize to Leah," Curtis demanded. Nicole glared at me in silence. "If you can't apologize after hurting someone I care about, I'll stop being your brother today. If you really care about me, don't take away my happiness." Nicole broke down, crying. "I feel like I've hit my head against the wall and regret everything I've done," she sobbed. "I can't forgive you right away, but I understand how you feel. Please find your own happiness. When this baby is born, I want you to be happy too," I told her. "Leah, you're pregnant?" Curtis asked, looking genuinely happy. "I wasn't feeling well lately, so I went to the hospital today," I explained. Curtis's face lit up with joy. Nicole came over and deeply apologized. "I'm really sorry for everything," she said before leaving our home in tears. Months later, our family grew and we're living happily. I don't know where Nicole is now, but after the baby was born, we received a letter from her. It contained a congratulatory message and a photo of Curtis and me smiling. Seeing that photo, I felt that Nicole had finally accepted me. Despite everything, I feel truly happy now. From now on, I want to live a joyful life full of smiles with our family of 3.